In the beginning of the drama, we see our drama main lead, Hee-song. He is an undercover agent and works for the national intelligence. Right now he is going on a mission. He has to raid an abandoned building because an antique Buddha statue, which is to be smuggled later, is kept there. So Hee-song and his partner, Jung, reach there. Hee-song fighting skills are amazing. He beats up all of them there. While he is fighting, a smuggler tries to take the statue and flee from there. Seeing him, Hee-song starts chasing his car on his heavy bike. Just then, he gets a call from his team leader, Seo-jin, who orders him to stop chasing his car, because this will be very dangerous. And a backup team is coming for him. But Hee-song doesn't want to wait for them. He says it will be too late by the time backup arrives. Saying this, he jumps on the car and somehow enters the car as well. He fights them and even saves the statue. But just then the car gets into an accident. Seeing this, Jung thinks Hee-song is dead. But just then Hee-song emerges from the fire with statue on one hand and carrying the smuggler on his shoulders. In the next scene, everyone is praising Hee-song because it was not an easy task, but he managed to do it all alone. But later, when they open the packed statue, they are shocked to see one of its arm broken. Actually, a bullet had hit its arm in all this chaos. Now when their director knows about this, he gets very angry and tells the team leader to fire Hee-song. In the next scene, the team leader tells this news to everyone. They think firing him is too much for such a small mistake. But then Seo-jin says he is also given another option for Hee-song to save his job, which is to go to one of Korea's most prestigious private school, where we have received an intel that the first chairman had hidden a treasure there, and that treasure is worth 88 billion won. And we suspect that the treasure was buried in the high school because we have already searched everywhere else. Now, Hee-song is to go there, and that too as a student to complete this mission. But Hee-song refuses, saying, "Make me a teacher. From what angle I look like a student to you?" But no one listens to him, leaving Hee-song with no choice but to agree. Next, we see our female lead, Hannah, who is teacher at the same high school. But her job isn't permanent yet, so she keeps following the principal around, so that somehow she could get this job. Even now, she has come to celebrate his birthday, with all the temporary employees, who want to impress him too. Meanwhile, Hannah ends up drinking a lot, and while they are seeing him off, Hannah, trying to stop him, accidentally takes off his wig. Seeing this, she realizes what she has done and, fixing his wig, quietly sits on the cab they had actually called for the principal and leaves from there. In the next scene, Hee-song is still in that restaurant, drinking alone, when Hannah also arrives there. Actually, this restaurant belongs to her mother. Hannah is drunk and seeing Hee-song, she thinks he is so handsome. Just then, her mother gets into an argument with some students, who were refusing to pay their bill. When Hannah talks to them, they start misbehaving with her as well. Hee-song cannot ignore this. He tries to stop those guys, and when they refuse to listen, he beats them all so bad that finally they pay their bill and leave. After this, Hee-song starts to leave and Hannah keeps looking at him, thinking he is not just handsome, but kind as well. On the other side, Hee-song also remembers his school days, when he used to be bullied by others in a school. Once his teacher himself saw it, but never took a stand for him. After this, we are shown that high school, its name is Byeongmun High School. Many famous and powerful people graduated from there. The chairwoman of this school is also an influential person. Even the Minister of Education often visits this school. On the other side, Hee-song is being told everything about this school. He will go to this school as a transfer student. They also teach him a lot of slang terms that Gen Z use these days. We also find out that the team leader Seo-jin is actually his uncle, and he also has a cousin, Anya. Seo-jin tells her that Hee-song is coming to your school on a secret mission. Then the next day, Hee-song wears his school uniform and reaches the school. As soon as he arrives, he meets the class president, Yana, and later, he also meets Hannah, who is his homeroom teacher. She asks, "Have I seen you somewhere before?" And as soon as she remembers, she takes him to a side and says, "Last night you beat up a high schooler. Even though you yourself were drinking alcohol, despite being a high school student." Hearing this, Hee-song says, "I saw with my own eyes that you raised your hand on those kids too. Your secret is with me, keep mine with you. Let's not disturb each other anymore." Saying this, he enters the classroom, where along with many students, we also see Yana and Anya. Seeing Hee-song coming to her class, she is left speechless. In the next scene, they both are at the rooftop, where Anya says, "I thought you would come as a teacher. Why are you here as a student?" "I don't care, just abandon this mission." But Hee-song doesn't care what she says, so in the end, she says, "Okay, I will help you, but don't tell my secrets at home." Hee-song agrees. Next we see, Hee-song is sleeping in class. Hannah comes and wakes him up, panicked. He was about to attack her using his self-defense techniques. But he ends up getting beaten by her instead. Now, Hee-song starts crying, saying that he wants to go home and doesn't want to stay here anymore. But in the next scene, when he is roaming around, he sees an old building with a students not allowed board outside. As he is thinking what could be inside this building, he sees his deskmate, Dongmin, getting bullied by some students. He tries to leave quietly from there, but the bullies sees him too and call him over. He was told by his boss to not to fight with the students, so he quietly follows all their orders. Meanwhile, we also see the chairwoman of that school, attending a funeral of one of her employees. She promises his wife full support for the rest of the employee's family. But later, she says, "Thank God he is dead, he was getting in our way." On the other side, Hee-song starts asking the students and finds that there are different rumors about that building, that it's haunted, that's why no one goes there. Now, Hee-song goes there at night to find out the truth. But there's someone points a gun at him, and it's no one else but Hannah. Hannah is on patrol duty, but she doesn't recognize him as he is wearing a mask. Hee-song somehow manages to escape from there. Meanwhile, Hannah is angry at herself, thinking if she had caught that thief, maybe she would have gotten a permanent job here. The next day, the bullies give Hee-song a game, telling him to reach the maximum level within 3 days. Hee-song is very angry, but then he goes to the rooftop and calls his teammate Mi-young, who is a computer expert, asking for help. Meanwhile, Hannah is working very hard to get this job. The vice principal also makes her do all the extra work. In the next scene, Hannah is with her colleagues, and they are telling her about the ghost that roams in the school's building. Hearing this, she accidentally spills her drink on the principal's face. Next we see that Dongmin is missing, and Hee-song is worried about this because he knows he gets bullied all the time. Later, he sees the chairwoman's assistant going inside that old building. He tries to go there too, but a guard does not let him go inside. But when he is returning, he hears someone's voice from a trash bin. He is shocked to find Dongmin tied up inside. Hee-song pulls him out, but just then Hannah arrives there, but seeing Dongmin's condition, she thinks that Hee-song might be bullying him. But in reality, this was done by one who is having fun watching all this. Meanwhile, Hannah takes Hee-song with her, and while she is scolding him, she notices his eyes. She suddenly remembers the thief from that night. But somehow, Hee-song manages to distract her. Hannah, after scolding him, leaves. Meanwhile, they get to know that the chairwoman has announced the Byeongmun Foundation will soon be building an education city, and the cost will be around $800 million. This amount matches the treasure's worth. Hearing this, they become quite worried. On the other side, the chairwoman changing her policies says, create special classes for the top 10%, meaning the elite class. Facilitate them in every way. The remaining 90% will complain, but we will divide them into 3 different scales, top, medium, and bottom. They will keep fighting among themselves, and will never look at the top 10%. Meanwhile, Hee-song asks Dongmin the horror story about that old building. He tells him there was a ballet studio here, and a ballerina used to get bullied by her fellow students. Then one day, due to a prank, her legs were badly injured, and she couldn't dance anymore, so she took her own life. And now her ghost roams there, because the bullies had buried her body right there in the basement. Dongmin asks, "Aren't you scared hearing all this?" Hee-song denies it, but in reality, his legs are trembling terribly. Dongmin then also shows him a video. When out of curiosity, he had once gone to that old building and recorded someone from a distance. In the video, Hee-song also notices a door lock there. Just then the bullies arrive and start harassing Dongmin. One spits in his food and tells him to eat it. Now Dongmin is about to eat it, but Hee-song cannot bear to see this, and tells him not to eat it. And one, who was already waiting for this. He ignores Dongmin and now wants to fight with Hee-song. Hee-song tries to calm him down. But one wants to fight with him to insult him in front of everyone. So he starts hitting him. But Hee-song, in self-defense, lands a powerful punch on his stomach. After that, he also regrets it a lot, because he wasn't supposed to fight with others here. Just then, Hannah also arrives there, and calls both the boys to her office. But one is the son of an assemblyman. He can't get questioned, so the vice principal bails him out. So now, only Hee-song is left. When Hannah starts to scold him, Hee-song gets emotional and asks her, "Do you even know what's happening to your students?" Actually, Hee-song thinks Hannah is also like the teacher, who did nothing even after seeing him getting bullied in front of him. Hearing this, Hannah feels bad. Even when she is at her mom's restaurant, she keeps thinking about his words. Meanwhile, Hee-song's team is eating when their director arrives and shows them a video. It's the fight from the cafe, recorded by someone, and now it has gone viral. Now the director scolds them a lot and says, "Call him back right now." When Hee-song arrives, the director, giving him a last warning, says if you participate in any fight at school from now on, your entire team will be dismantled. Hee-song then recalls that his dad was also an undercover agent. He never told about it, and one day, his dad went on a secret mission, and after that, he never returned. In the next scene, Dongmin is making a delivery when he sees Hee-song trying to enter the old building. Dongmin also joins him. Hee-song tells him to go back, but he doesn't listen. Now both of them go inside and see a man with his face covered, standing there. He attacks them with the hammer and then runs away. While chasing him, Dongmin and Hee-song get separated. Hee-song opens the lock through a special device he has and enters the room he saw in the video. And here, we see that it's the chairwoman's secret room. And from the information gathered there, it becomes clear that she is also after the same treasure. Then he calls his team, saying this mission is going to take a little longer. Just then he hears Dongmin scream. Actually, he opened the basement and found a skeleton there. The skeleton's legs were cut off, just like the stories about the school. Later, we also see that the chairwoman is not unaware of all this. She had also installed secret cameras there. Through jammers, they had disabled the CCTV, but the secret cameras inside showed everything. Meanwhile, the chairwoman's assistant tells her that 2 students went there yesterday to find out if that place is really haunted or not. Hearing this, the chairwoman acts as if she has no idea about this. On the other side, we find out that these ghost stories were actually created by the first chairman. And Hee-song realizes that through these stories, he can actually find that treasure. Meanwhile, Hee-song finds out who attacked him with the hammer. And it was none other than the school's guard. He goes to him, and after threatening him, he finds out that the guard was actually feeding a cat, and the cat went inside. While following the cat, his phone fell in the basement, and at that time, he had come there to get his phone back, but he got scared, and that's why he attacked them. Hee-song realizes he doesn't know anything else. So he just says, "Okay, let's just keep each other's secret and forget what happened," and leaves. Next we see Hannah, while wandering around, sees one bullying Dongmin. Seeing this, she deeply regrets suspecting Hee-song. She tries to talk to one, but he walks away saying, "Mind your business or you might get fired from here." In the next scene, we see Hee-song helping an old lady, and Yana also sees him. Here, Hee-song finds out that she is Dongmin's grandmother. She is very happy with him. Then Hee-song gives Dongmin his number and says, "If you ever have any problem, you can contact me." Later, he goes to a store near his house. He is picking up a drink and Hannah is also picking up the same drink. At first, they fight over that drink, but later, they both sit together outside and drink. She asks him, "Why didn't you tell me you didn't bully Dongmin?" He says, "Dongmin told me to not tell you." Hearing this, she watches him eat and remembers her childhood, when she had a school friend in childhood who could be called her sweetheart. He also used to pick peas out of his food like that. Meanwhile, Dongmin's grandma has been arrested by the police. Her ID card was used for illegal activities. Dongmin calls Hee-song for help. So both Hee-song and Hannah reach the police station, and there, find out that all of this is done by one. Actually, he is into gambling and uses other people's ID cards to gamble. Hee-song says to Hannah, "We have to help her somehow." So Hannah exposes everything on the school website, telling about bullying and students' involvement in gambling. All this was damaging school's reputation, so the principal calls all the teachers. Hannah is scared that they will suspect her. Just then the principal asks her, "You have nothing to do with this, right?" But Hannah pretends as if she has no idea about all this. The principal is convinced that it wasn't her and leaves. Meanwhile, Hee-song starts to find clues following the second story, which is about a clock, but there, the chairwoman sees him and asks, "Aren't you that student who went to the old building earlier? I encourage students with curious minds. If you need any help, come to me." After Hee-song leaves, she starts searching herself. Actually, she had decided to keep an eye on Hee-song. She thinks Hee-song will lead them to the treasure himself. The next day, investigation of a case starts at school involving one, Dongmin, and his grandmother. In the meeting, Dongmin says in front of everyone that Hee-song was the one bullying him. Actually, one blackmailed Dongmin, saying, "Your grandmother will never come out if you don't speak against Hee-song." Later he tells Hee-song, "Yes, I'm a coward. But what else could I do?" Hearing this, Hee-song doesn't say anything, and quietly walks away. Then the next day in the meeting, Dongmin gives a statement against him again, but Hee-song still isn't present, so the principal is about to make a decision against him, but Hannah tries to stop him, making excuses. Just then, we see Hee-song entering the school on a heavy bike. A person wearing a helmet is with him, and he drags him inside. In a flashback, we see Hee-song reaches the same gambling place where one used to go. There, along with his team, they beat up all those people, while his hacker teammate extracts all the evidence and gives it to him. He also brings the head of that illegal gambling ring, who admits in front of everyone that one works with me to pay off his debts. He kept losing bets, and his debts were increasing. That's why he collects ID cards of people for me, and through them, we do illegal work. They even have CCTV footage showing one going to that guy with ID cards. Here, one's dad tries very hard to save him. One gets furious and punches Hee-song. But Hee-song punches him even harder and knocks him down. In the next scene, Dongmin asks Hee-song, "Are we still friends?" Hee-song says, "Of course, why not?" On the other hand, one's dad tries to pressurize the chairwoman. But she isn't one to be afraid of anyone. So she says, "Don't forget how you got here." Meanwhile, Hee-song has injuries from the fight, and Hannah is applying medicine on him. A flower petal gets stuck in Hannah's hair. So Hee-song picks it up, but Hannah gets nervous and runs away. Next we see, Dongmin starts telling him the third story, that there were two students. Later, she is pasting some posters, and while helping her, his eyes fall on a clock that was in the student council room. He thinks surely there's something in that clock. Just then, Yana also sees them talking and gets jealous. In the next scene, Hee-song is trying to enter that room when Yana sees him and says, "You can only enter this room if you are a member or my friend." She also gives him a gift. But Hee-song says, "You can't become my friend by giving me expensive gifts like this. If you want to be my friend, you'll have to do something different." Saying this, he leaves. But then he turns back and asks, "How to become a member here?" And then he gets to know that one's seat is now vacant. So he goes to Hannah and applies for it. It turns out that he needs to be in the top 10 students, and he will also need 100 student signatures and the student council president's agreement. This won't be easy. He only gets 3 signatures. 1 by Dongmin, and 2 are from the bullies who used to be one's friends. They have become his friends now. In the next scene, he goes to his team. They say, "You're already famous in the school. You must have gotten a lot of signatures." But when they check, he has gotten only 3 signatures. Then they say, "Don't worry, we'll help you. But you'll be good at studies, right?" Then they see his result, and he barely passes. Then they say, "There are only 7 days left for your exams. You must focus on your studies. We'll take care of the rest." Hearing this, Hee-song starts focusing only on his studies. But one day, he sees they've organized a concert outside the cafe. Through dancing and singing, they're trying to attract students. They've put up posters of him like he's some celebrity, and they've even offered free food as an incentive for signing votes for him. They even make him dance with them to attract more students. On the other hand, Yana tells Anya, "You and Hee-song look quite close talking like that. You'll definitely vote for him." Anya realizes that Yana is suspicious of her. So she goes and tells Hee-song, "Don't join the student council. If you do, I'll tell them everything about you." Meanwhile, as the exams are near, everyone is focused on their studies. Whenever Hee-song gets tired, and seeing other students studying, he gets motivated again. Next we see, the chairwoman also finds out about the clock in student council. Hee-song wouldn't want to join the student council for no reason. Just then, Yana returns. Her mom is very strict with her and pressurizes her to always be on top. She even gives her some medicines. Yana doesn't want to take these medicines, but has no choice. Actually, the medicine always makes her sick. Meanwhile, Hee-song gets an emergency call and finds out that some orders have come from the director and that he is being sent on a mission. So now he has to take an emergency leave from school. He calls Hannah and says he's very sick, so he won't come, but then he goes on a mission to his military camp. Later, he comes back tired and sits in his room. Just then Hannah calls him and says, "You are a very hard-working student of mine, so I'm coming to take care of you." Hearing this, Hee-song panics. He immediately changes his clothes and starts running to his room, which is somewhere near the school. But when he calls his team, he finds out they haven't had time to set up that room yet. So now when they go inside, it's completely empty, like nobody ever lived here at all. They rush around, showing their IDs, collecting some clothes and household items from anywhere they could. They even steal some stuff from the laundry, and they somehow manage to fill his house, but it was still very messy. But just then, they see Hannah arriving downstairs. Having no other option, he opens the door. Hannah has brought soup for him, but Hee-song wants to send her away. But when she wants to enter, he signals everyone to hide. Actually, Hannah needed to go to the toilet, that's why she came in. After coming out, Now when she starts to leave, her foot slips, and she falls along with him, and accidentally they kiss. Meanwhile, inside the closet, Jung is about to sneeze, but Myung kisses him. Jung gets so shocked that he falls out of the closet. Hannah is shocked and asks, "What is going on?" His team leader starts acting, saying, "Surprise," and adds, "I'm the owner of a cafe, and his boss. He does part-time work for me sometimes. This poor guy lives alone, so I came here to give him a surprise. These two are also my employees." But Hannah starts getting suspicious of them and says, "He was home the whole day, so is it a surprise?" Hearing this, Hee-song faints, and his team reacts, as if his condition has worsened. He's about to die. They immediately put him on their shoulders and take him to the hospital. The next day, it's his first exam. Hee-song and his team are quite nervous. Meanwhile, Hannah starts thinking that the thief who escaped that day was Hee-song. She thinks, how can a student raid a place and bring the head of gambling ring to school? She had also seen a car outside his house, so she wonders, how can a student drive? That day, she drinks a lot and goes to her neighbor's house, which happens to be Hee-song's, and he is also shocked to see her standing outside his house. Hannah starts shouting, "Mom, open the door," so Hee-song also tells her, "I'm not your mom. Go to your house." Just then her mom also arrives and drags her away. He comes out and sees that she lives right next to him. Seeing this, he gets scared. The next day, the results come out. Hee-song checks the result and is shocked to find out that he has secured 10th position. While Anya is on 1st position, but she doesn't look happy at all because she has surpassed Yana, and she is also very angry at her. On the other hand, Hannah contacts the school from which Hee-song transferred. But they were fully prepared and tells Hannah to take care of their former student. Meanwhile, Anya is still angry with Hee-song. She tells him, "Why you still want to join the student council?" But he tells her, "It's all part of my mission." Just then, Yana also sees them talking and wonders, how these two know each other? In the next scene, Hee-song is now a member of the student council. He enters their office and sees the clock he needed to search. Meanwhile, we also see that Hannah has also become the student council's advising teacher. On the other side, Hee-song is about to search the clock when Yana arrives and says, "To welcome you, I and Onya will go to dinner together." While they're having dinner, Hee-song realizes that Anya is not Yana's friend, but her servant. So later, he asks her, "Why are you letting her treat you like this?" But Anya says, "I got into the student council because of her, and I'm okay with all this, so you mind your own business." In the next scene, we see that the chairwoman is very angry at Yana because of her result. And here we also get to know that her mom was the one who told her to take Hee-song into the student council. Meanwhile at night, Hee-song goes to the student council hall, where he finds a message on the desk, which says, "Hello, Agent Hee-song." Seeing this, Hee-song goes and tells this to his director. The director then tells him to bring everyone's data in the school. And then, looking at one person's record, they are left stunned. In the next scene, Hee-song finds out that the school guard was the one who had sent him the message that day. He calls him to meet on the rooftop at night. Now, when Hee-song is going to meet him, a body falls in front of him, and it's of that same guard. He also has a diary in his hand, and he is shocked to see that it is actually his father's diary. Hee-song then runs to the rooftop, where he sees a masked man there. He starts to fight with him, trying to snatch the diary. But then they hear some sound, and that man somehow manages to escape, leaving the diary with Hee-song. In the next scene, Hee-song goes to his director and grabbing him by collar, says, "I want to know the truth about my dad." And here he finds out that his dad had also gone on this same mission, when he went missing, and after this, his junior, Seo-jin, raised Hee-song himself. Later, he is reading his dad's diary, and reading it, he gets to know that his dad had worked a lot on this mission. He had even mentioned the 4th horror story, which no one in the school knew. Few days pass like this. Hee-song stays alone in a room for 2 or 3 days, without talking to anyone. One day, his team decide to send Jong as a student in that school too, but he doesn't like a student at all. Just then, Hee-song arrives there wearing the uniform. Everyone is happy to see him back, and he also says, "How can I give up on the mission my dad worked so hard on?" Then he goes to the school, where Hannah asks him why he wasn't coming to school earlier. He says he was busy. So Hannah says, "Okay, then your demerit points will be cut." But Hee-song doesn't care about this at all. Later, he goes to the student council hall again, and following his dad's instructions, he finds a light and records of music. Just then, Hannah comes there and confronts him, saying, "You know that guard didn't commit suicide, right? Because you were there too." Actually, Hannah was working late that night, when she heard some voices, and then she saw everything. And when Hee-song was fighting, she had made the sound there to stop Hee-song and the other person from fighting. Then she tells him, "You are not a student. I know this now." Now he also tells her the reality and says, "I am an undercover agent. And now, you have only two options. One is to help me complete this mission. The second option is to become a traitor, leak my secret. And after that, you'll get at least 10 years in prison." Saying this, he leaves, while Hannah is scared at the thought of going to jail. In the next scene, Hee-song is with his team and tells them, "Hannah has found out about our mission." And then when he tells them the whole story, they scold him a lot, saying, "You, as an agent, threatened a civilian. You could get a punishment for this. Go and apologize to her." Hearing this, he immediately goes to meet her. Later they both are at a restaurant, where Hee-song apologizes to her. Now Hannah starts thinking what she will get by helping him. Then she thinks that this could get her a permanent position. Media, news reporters, everyone would follow her because she helped an agent complete a big mission. So she says, "Okay, I'm a good citizen. I will definitely help you." Later, when they're leaving, Hee-song tells her, "Do you know if the person who killed the guard finds out that you were also there as a witness, you could be in danger too?" Then he holds her hands and says, "But don't worry, I'll protect you." Seeing him this close, Hannah starts blushing and says, "Do you talk to everyone like this? Don't ever talk to me like this again." Saying this, she walks away. The next day, he starts reading the fourth horror story, which is related to a piano that two people used to play together. But then, the man betrayed her, so the woman committed suicide. What's why her ghost wandered there? Reading this story, Hannah also starts screaming. Then she tells him that this piano is in the chairwoman's room, and entering there is nearly impossible. But then we find out that there will be a dinner hosted by the chairwoman, which student council members will also attend. That's when he can reach that piano. But it turns out that Hee-song has a lot of demerit points, so he cannot go there. In the next scene, he yells at Hannah, "Why did you cut so many of my points? Are you my partner, or theirs?" So later, Hannah gets another idea. In the next scene, Hee-song is sitting with his team, when Hannah also arrives there and tells them that there is going to be a photo shoot for the new face of their school. If he wins this photo shoot, he gets 25 points, and then he can go to the dinner. At first, Hee-song keeps refusing. But the next day, he goes with her. There are so many students there, getting their makeup done. But Hee-song doesn't even know how to pose properly. So Hannah takes him outside and teaches him how to pose. Think about how important this is for your mission. Then they go inside again, and finally, when Hee-song poses, everyone is left stunned, admiring him. But when it's Yana's turn, she becomes very upset during the photo shoot because she doesn't want to reveal her hands. We then find out that Yana has a history of hurting herself. Anya saves her and takes her out. She then asks her, "Do you still hurt yourself?" "I'm asking as a friend." But Yana gets angry and says, "I'm not your friend. You are my servant, and stay a servant." Just then, Hee-song arrives and tells Yana, "Apologize to her." But Yana angrily leaves from there, and after that, Anya, crying, tells him to mind his business and leaves. Hannah is also seeing all this. At night they both are at a restaurant, when Hannah tells him she is a high schooler. At this time, she has different emotions. She doesn't like being commanded. She can handle her own issues. And that's how Yana is too. Try to understand her. Hearing this, Hee-song remembers his childhood's first love. She used to say things like this too. But at that time, their names were different. That's why they don't recognize each other. Later, when he is leaving, it suddenly starts raining. Hannah's mom passes her an umbrella from behind. And as Hannah is handing it to him, a bike is about to hit her, but Hee-song quickly steps in and saves her. Now, they both are very close to each other. Hannah starts blushing a lot and quickly runs inside. Meanwhile, Hee-song recalls Hannah's old name, Bongja, which her mom called her, and he takes out his childhood friend's photo and looks at it, and then he remembers that Hannah once noticed him picking peas, and he realizes that Hannah is his first love, Bongja. The next day, the vice principal wants to declare Minjun, one of the modeling boys, as the winner by cheating because his dad is a VIP. But Hannah raises her voice for Hee-song and says, "We have democracy here, so let's have a vote." And of course, no one was more handsome and decent than Hee-song. So because of Hannah's efforts, Hee-song is selected as the face of Byeong and can now attend the dinner. They all stop planning in a meeting. But the problem is that Hee-song doesn't know how to play the piano and will also need a partner. Just then, Hannah arrives there. Realizing Hannah will also be there as the school's teacher, Seo-jin flatters her a lot, saying, "Only you can do this, because you are our one and only field agent." Hearing all this, Hannah agrees, and she also makes him promise a full-time position. Later, they both practice playing piano together and spend a lot of time together. Hee-song also starts teaching her some fighting and self-defense skill. But she is even better than he thinks. While learning, they both get very close to each other. Hee-song gets very shy and pushes her away. Next we see, their plan is ready, and for backup Jung is also there as a waiter. Their team is also outside in the van. Meanwhile, when Hannah arrives there, Hee-song can't take his eyes off her. She looks very beautiful, and he starts remembering his childhood that once, Hannah had said that when she comes wearing a nice dress, he should propose to her. On the other side, Hee-song puts a necklace on her and says, "It has a camera." And he also tells her, "Remember what I told you? I will protect you no matter what." And he also gives her a fainting injection, thinking she might need it. Then, according to their plan, when Jung turns off the lights, they both immediately start going towards the chairwoman's room. But the principal arrives there and turns on the lights. Now, Jung goes there as a VIP parent and starts distracting the guards. When the guards start forcing him to leave, Myung goes there and starts fighting with him, saying she is pregnant with his baby, so he must take responsibility now. And while fighting, they end up kissing each other again. Meanwhile, both Hee-song and Hannah reaches outside the chairwoman's room. But so many guards surround them, having no choice, they fight with them. And after this they finally enter the chairwoman's room. There, while playing piano, they find out that one of its keys is broken. So it must be some hint. While leaving, he checks her computer to delete the CCTV recordings, and finds out that the chairwoman knows about this plan, and she even knows everything about him. Later, when they all are going back in the van, Hee-song remains quiet, but he doesn't tell his team about this, because he suspects that this is an insider's job. Meanwhile, Hannah finds a card of a VIP student. Later, she tries to solve the riddle. And through that broken key, she manages to find some hint. She immediately calls Hee-song. But he doesn't answer. Later, she sees him at the store, so she tells him, "I figured out the hint from that piano key." But he isn't interested at all, seeing he is troubled. She takes him along with her. He tells her that the chairwoman knows everything about him. Perhaps she deliberately called him there. And someone in his team is working with her. Now, while going back, Hee-song calls her by her childhood name and tells her they went to the same school and were even in the same class. Hearing this, Hannah is stunned. She asks him, "How do you know all this? Are you Song-min? Why did you change your name?" He says, "Well, I can't use my real name in this field." He also tells her that he is her neighbor. Hearing this, Hannah gets very happy. The guy she likes isn't her student, but her first love. Then the next day, Hannah sees that card, a website link is written on it. When she searches it, she finds out that all the competitions and exams results are fixed. Seeing this, she is completely shocked. Yana also finds out about this and is heartbroken. She thinks, all the positions I earned with so much hard work, were they all fixed? And on the basis of these results, students get admission in colleges and universities, so their future also depends on these results. Meanwhile, Hannah tells about this to Hee-song as well. But he is busy tracking the chairwoman these days, keeping an eye on where she goes and who she meets. She might talk to that agent, and he'll find out who the traitor is. But while doing all this, he finds out that she is now after Hannah, because she knows that Hannah has accessed that website. She says, "We've taken down that website. And as for Hannah, I'll eliminate her." Hearing this, Hee-song panics and calls Hannah, asking where she is. But she's at school, working overtime. He immediately rushes to school, because he is worried that someone might hurt her. He tells her, "It's dangerous to stay here. Let's go home." After this, they return back home and start searching for who could be involved in all this, and Hannah is looking at records when they see the recording of that event where they both were standing together and they looked like a couple. Seeing this, they both start blushing. The next day, Seo-jin scolds Hee-song, telling him to not get involved in the cheating scandal and to focus on his own mission. But Hee-song believes that these two missions are interconnected. When they report this to the director, he tells them that the mission is over. So, end everything. Seeing this, Hee-song realizes that as soon as the chairwoman found out that he can also reveal her cheating scandal, she had this mission terminated. She feels he is a big threat and should be removed from this school. Meanwhile, Yana goes to Anya's house. Her mom cooks a lot of food for her, and Yana feels that Anya is lucky to have such a caring mom. And while she is leaving, she also apologizes to Anya and thanks her for sticking with her all this time. Meanwhile, Hannah goes to Hee-song's house and sees the door is already open. When she enters, she sees everything is scattered inside. Someone has searched his place. Just then, she sees a man who comes closer to her, and Hannah tries to fight with him. While doing so, he stabs Hannah and runs away. When Hee-song returns home, he sees her injured. He immediately takes her to the hospital. Hee-song feels guilty that because of him, Hannah is in pain. Then the next day, as soon as Hannah regains consciousness, she sees Hee-song sitting by her side. He had taken care of her all night, and seeing her awake, he is very happy. But later, he finds out that it was the maths teacher Juno who stabbed Hannah. His DNA was found all over his house, and that's how they identified him. When he returns home, he also finds out that his father's diary is missing. He had stolen it and given it to the chairwoman. Meanwhile, Mi-young and Jung are keeping an eye on Juno, because they had to keep Juno alive to testify against chairwoman, when they see chairwoman's assistant taking Jung-go with him. In the next scene, he is about to kill Juno when Mi-young and Jung both go to save him, but they both end up tied in the same car as Juno, which is about to be crushed. Just then, Hee-song arrives there. He fights with everyone and saves them from being crushed, and even captures the chairwoman's assistant. That night, Hee-song drops Juno to a safe house and calling Seo-jin, says, "I have kept Juno in a safe house. I will hand him over to the police tomorrow." He thinks that Seo-jin would definitely come to get him. He stands guard all night, but when he doesn't come, he realizes that it's not his uncle behind all this. After this, Hee-song directly goes to the chairwoman. He shows her the news, where Juno has testified against her already, and he has a lot of evidence against her on a pen drive. Saying this, he leaves, and sees that the chairwoman is called for investigation. In the next scene, we find out that it's actually the director who is working with the chairwoman. She starts laughing like a maniac and says, "If I die, I'll take you with me, because I'm a crazy woman." On the other side, the school is also getting defamed because of all this. Some ministers from the education department will come to inspect the school. So Hannah and her entire class gathers and clean the school. They even take a selfie together. Later, when they arrive, the chairwoman also arrives there. Everyone is shocked to see her. Hee-song also comes there, and seeing him, she takes off his badge and says, "Stop playing high school games, don't ever come in my way again." In the next scene, all the students get very upset because Hee-song is suddenly being dismissed. But he says goodbye and leaves. But this isn't over yet. Hee-song's team gets accused of accepting bribes from overseas organizations. The chairwoman also threatens him, saying, "This is just the beginning. If you won't back off, then my next target will be Hannah." So later, he meets Hannah, and is very upset. But Hannah tells him, "Don't worry about me. I can protect myself." In the next scene, they're all sitting together trying to solve one last riddle they hadn't solved yet. They realize that the statue of the traitor might give some clues. But Hee-song can't enter the school anymore. So he goes to deliver food for Hannah. And later, they both go to that statue, where Hannah grabs the dummy's neck and starts asking, "Why did you do this?" The statue starts rotating. Just then the principal arrives there and gets suspicious of them, but Hannah tries to distract him, making him escape somehow. But the chairwoman also finds out that Hee-song came in the school again. So now, she posts some photos of Hannah and Hee-song together, claiming that Hannah is dating a student. Now everyone in school starts talking against her. Hannah doesn't know how to handle this. She can't even tell them that Hee-song is an agent. But then, Hee-song makes an entry and introduces himself to everyone, saying, "I have come to address this recent issue. First of all, I'm not a minor." He takes out his ID card, which shows that he is 31 years old. "And as for your teacher, it's true that I like her." Hearing this, everyone starts cheering for them, and the chairwoman is also watching all this. Now everyone asks him, "Then why did you come to school if you weren't a minor?" He can't tell them the truth, so he says, "I couldn't complete my high school. So now, I took admission again to live like an educated adult." Later, we find out that Yana told him about all this, because she had access to her mom's documents. At night, Hee-song and his team decide that they will now openly attack the school, because they must find the gold tonight, or else the chairwoman will find it. But for this, they'll need more people. So here Hannah's mom offers help. And here we find out that her mom, along with the restaurant, used to be the head of a gang. She had retired from there, but to help them, she takes them to her old gang and tells them, "These people will help you." They wanted to raid the school and quickly extract the gold from the secret passage under the traitor's statue. The chairwoman also arrives there, but they still manage to block her way. Hee-song then goes inside and reaches the basement. But there, instead of gold, he finds a skeleton. And that skeleton is wearing the same watch Hee-song had gifted his dad. He realizes that it is actually his father's dead body. Seeing this, Hee-song is completely heartbroken, as he had still been holding on to hope that he would find his father alive. The next day, he arranges his dad's funeral. Other than his team, not many people are there to see his father off. But then, Hee-song's classmates from Byeong School arrives there to support him in his grief. Meanwhile, the chairwoman is furious. Her assistant also tells her to forget about the gold. But she says, that gold is only mine. She is panicking about where the gold went. Meanwhile, Hee-song is going somewhere and he meets Hannah, where he says, thank you for everything, and leaves. When Hannah tells this to his team, they think what if he confronts the director and asks what happened to his dad. So they all start running there. On the other side, Hee-song, pointing his gun at the director, asks, tell me what happened to my dad. But before the director could say something, Hee-song gets caught, and as they are taking him away, his own teammates arrive to save him, and a fight begins among them. Hannah saves Hee-song and then escapes with him. In the next scene, Hee-song asks them, why did all of you come there? I wasn't going to kill him. I transferred all the data from his phone to mine, and also planted a bug there. Actually, I was doing all this to distract him. The real target was his phone. After that, he listens everything on his phone, and finds out that the director had gone to meet the chairwoman, where he was telling her that she was the one who had killed his dad. Then we see a flashback. When his dad found out everything, the director was also working with the chairwoman. He pulled out a gun to stop his dad, but the chairwoman snatched the gun from his hand and shot his dad. She thought she would get the treasure, and later they searched everywhere. But the treasure had already been transferred to a safe place by his dad, and then he went and hid in the basement. No one knew about that basement, so his body kept lying there. Meanwhile, Hee-song calls the director and goes to meet him. But this is a trap. They had already killed the director, and even called the police, getting Hee-song arrested in suspicion of murder. In the next scene, the chairwoman comes to him and says, I told you to stay away, but you didn't listen to me. Hearing this, Hee-song also tells her, I will definitely bring you down. So later, when they're transferring him to another place, he attacks the team and manages to escape from there. But he gets badly injured. Still gathering courage, he calls Hannah from a telephone booth, and she also arrives there with his team to save him, and they all take care of him. Next we see, they're staying in a hotel, where they have a meeting. They have collected all the evidence. Just then, the chairwoman's people also arrive there. His team tries to stop them, helping Hannah and Hee-song to escape from the back. After this, he finally goes to the police station and surrenders himself. There, he plays that recording, through which it's revealed that the chairwoman was working with the director and that she had him murdered. On the other hand, the chairwoman wants to suspend Hannah from school. But all the students stop protesting against this. They demand to make Hannah a permanent teacher. But the chairwoman covers her ears like a madwoman and laughs. The students keep standing there till night. The chairwoman somehow sends Yana to home by making an excuse and then sprays gasoline on them. Seeing this, everyone gets scared. And then she comes with a lighter and says, I will burn you all. Just then, Hee-song also arrives there. Meanwhile, Anya calls Yana and tells her everything. Hearing this, Yana immediately comes back. Seeing that she might kill her own daughter in this, she gets worried. Realizing things are getting out of control, she tries to kill herself instead. But Hee-song stops her from doing this, and also saves the lighter from falling there, saving all the students' lives. But later, when Hee-song goes outside, we see that he has suffered severe head injuries, his condition worsens, and he loses consciousness. In the next scene, he sees his dad in his dream, and then he regains consciousness. Now that he has proven his innocence, he has been reinstated to his position because he also saved many students' lives. He might even get a promotion soon. Later, he starts investigating, and the chairwoman's assistant wanted to take all the blame upon himself. But Hee-song tries to convince him, so later, when he goes to court, he tells everything about her, and says, I did all this on her orders. Hearing this, the chairwoman is shocked. And then finally, the chairwoman is convicted. She is sentenced to imprisonment for life. In the next scene, Yana comes to meet her and tells her, I will never become like you. We also find out that Hannah has finally become a permanent teacher. And Hee-song also comes to school to meet his former classmates. But nobody pays attention to him. He is a bit disappointed and steps out. But when he is about to leave, they drop a lot of planes from the window, thanking him and telling him that they are proud of him. Later, Hee-song gets a hint about the treasure. Hee-song and his dad used to watch stars together. And once his dad had said, I have hidden a star. You have to search for it at home. After that day, his dad never came back. Now he remembers his dad's words, and sees a star on the floor. He opens it and finds a secret place underneath, where he sees many gold bars. His dad had hidden the treasure there at home. Seeing this, he gets very happy and says, mission complete. Then the scene shifts to many years later. Anya becomes an agent like her dad and brother, while Yana follows her heart and becomes a painter. Myung and Jung are a couple now. In the next scene, Hee-song and Hannah are together, watching the stars, when Hee-song proposes her. He puts a ring on her finger, and they both kiss. And with this happy ending, our drama ends here. If you like the video, then like, comment, and subscribe for more.